Alright everyone, welcome to another episode sa ating daily charting sessions. Sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam, what we do here is we typically look at either yung mga trending names at nakikita po natin yung listahan na yun sa Instagrams, no? Or tumatanggap po tayo ng mga chart requests. Lately, I've been doing more ng mga chart requests kasi gusto ko na pagbigyan kayong lahat. But I do want to make a more concerted effort na bumalik to discuss more yung mga trending names para lang din mas marami or mas wide yung audience na nakakapture natin, no? But for this episode, once again, we'll be focusing sa mga requested stocks, no? And we'll start off with ABA. Itong ABA, as you can see, nagkaroon tayo ng another push to the upside. Actually, very surprising to. It totally caught me unaware, okay? I didn't expect na aabot to all the way here hanggang 2.79 and yet here we are. Ganun talaga, hindi talaga natin alam kung anong gagawin ng merkado, no? Now, after natin magbuo, kumbaga, ng resistance dito sa 2.79, we've started pushing to the downside and syempre, lo and behold, yung unang level na nakahanap tayo ng reaction is the previous area of resistance which was at 2.3. Tapos ngayon, once we broke beneath it in these candles here, yung 2.3 din yung nag-act as resistance on the way back up. Now, maraming tao na nagsasabi ng kung ano-anong iba-ibang bagay na tungkol dito sa ABA. Parabolic high risk na siya or extreme parabolic high risk. Overbought. Marami. Okay? Ultimately, kahit naman hindi natin alam yung mga terms na yon, just by looking at the chart, it does look very overextended. But, all that being said, I would have said the same thing around here, no? So, just because meron tayong nakikita or meron tayong paniniwala, it doesn't necessarily mean na kailangan sundan yun ng merkado. However, what it does mean is kailangan nag-iingat tayo. Kasi kaya nga tayo nag-aaral para aware tayo sa mga potential situations that might occur given specific circumstances. Now, kung extreme parabolic high risk na to para sa pananaw ninyo, okay, then you need to be careful. Nagkaroon na tayo ng strong drop dito. If from here mabasag natin tong 2.13, then the next level of support will be at 1.97. And if that breaks, yung next level natin nasa 1.73 na. By then, medyo ang lalim na ng hinukay nito and I sincerely doubt that the chart will look very appealing pa. I could be wrong. Okay, syempre, depende pa rin lahat yon. But given yung current circumstances, it's likely not gonna look very good. Now, kung kunwari naman ma-reclaim natin and we start trading above itong 2.3 na area once again, I'd still be very careful kasi nagkaroon tayo ng parang V-shaped na reversal eh. Diba? Pullbacks are of course to be expected. Pwedeng umangat to, come back somewhere towards the middle. But kailangan mag-ingat lang tayo kasi baka from there, biglang mag-reverse tapos tayo yung maipit. Now, kung kunwari sabihin natin tumuloy, basagin ulit yung 2.79. Okay? Di syempre, panibagong 52-week high na naman tayo and we could be looking at another push to the upside regardless of kung ano man yung itsura niya using whatever indicators we might prefer. Okay, I am not saying na hindi po na ibig sabihin nun kapag ganon, mali na lahat yun ha. I'm just saying na it might continue to push through kasi it's showing na it still might have some legs. But for now, from where it is, I honestly wouldn't go chasing this. Kung may hawak kayo nitong ABA, be sure to honor your trail stops lang. Okay? Or kung kunwari kayo yung sakaling nakabili somewhere dito sa taas, be sure to honor your stop loss para kung sakaling mangyari ang ayaw natin mangyari, hindi tayo makakatch unaware. Next, tignan naman natin ang Ayala Land or ang ALI, no? Now, itong ALI, nag-form tayo ng some type of inverse head and shoulders here. We broke through the upside and right now we're consolidating within this area. So the wider range is somewhere around 27.7, potentially hanggang mga 31 pesos. Okay, pero meron tayong level dito sa gitna na nakikita natin acted as support. Ay, resistance here, resistance there, support here, resistance there, and so on, no? And kahit na overall sinasayawan natin yung area na yan, we can see how price still respects it. That's why may nakaiwan pa rin akong level dyan. Okay? Now, Kung sabihin natin nagkaroon tayo ng break to the downside, mabasag natin tong 27.2 hanggang 27.7 na area of support. Number 1, baka ma-fill natin yung gap dito. And if ma-fill yan and tumuloy, the next level of support will be around 25 pesos hanggang 25.5. If that breaks as well, baka balikan natin yung support dito at 23, followed by 21.85. Ngayon, kung mabasag naman to the upside, meaning we break above 31, that opens up the next levels sa taas. That's 32.2 na next level of resistance, followed by 33.55. Now, habang sumasayaw to sa loob ng range na to, habang nagcha-chop siya, then wala pa tayong idea kung ano ba talagang gustong gawin ng market. Yes, we broke through the upside nung nag-form tayo nung inverse head and shoulders dito. Yes, we could be forming a wider inverse head and shoulders pattern here. Pero so far, wala pa po tayong confirmation. If you want to buy towards the low of that right shoulder, di kayong bahala, no? Kung feeling nyo talagang malakas to, tutuloy na, then that's a potential area that you want to watch out for possible buys. Pero just be aware na kung sakali mang babasag yon, since hindi lang naman tayo nakakakita ng wider pattern, baka maging mas mabilis ang pagtulak niya pababa as people try to get out seeing na, uy, hindi na matutuloy yung wider pattern or yung larger pattern na tinitignan natin dito sa ali. Next, tignan naman po natin tong ASLAG do. Now, tong ASLAG, it's been widespread na nagsa-circulate not just from newsletters or forums but maraming online sources na meron daw insider buying and things like that. That's why price is being pushed to the upside, no? But keep in mind lang na syempre may limit din yung ganon. And number 2, hindi naman po natin alam kung ano yung hinahanap or iniisip nila. So, don't assume na porket merong insider buying man, ibig sabihin to the moon na. Okay, so just keep all of that in mind as we discuss this para lang meron tayong balance. Okay? Now, after we broke out dito sa 2.22 na previous level of resistance, price held above it until bigla siyang lumagapak sa candle na to. After that, we broke beneath this level of support. Okay? Tapos, we've been trading within this range between 1.96 hanggang 2.11. Now, price has been trying to move higher and syempre, as always, yung previous resistance will now previous support will now turn resistance. So, baka makakita tayo na mauntog yung price dito or at the very least, makahanap ng some type of reaction, no? Kung makahanap tayo ng reaction dyan and we start pushing lower, then that confirms na baka mag-trade nga muna tayo sa loob ng range na to. If 1.96 breaks, then I'm looking at this white area below as a possible area kung saan tayo ulit pwede makakita ng magandang reaction from the market. Bakit? Kasi dyan tayo nag-consolidate prior this strong push to the upside. So, hindi naman siguro nakakagulat na kung bumalik tayo dyan, makakita tayo ng konting reaction man lang, di ba? Kahit papano mula sa merkado. Now, kung kunwari from here, we come back and break above 2.11 and start holding above it, then we might trade this range ulit between 2.11 hanggang 2.22 with possible overshoot na ma-fill natin yung gap na naiwan dito. And if we can start trading above that, meaning above 2.22 and above this gap, then we might come back and tag yung high na na-form dito around 2.34. Yan yung previous high nung shooting star na na-form after natin mag-try nung push, no? Then if that breaks, the next level of resistance will be 2.48 na. However, kung tuluyan tong bumulusok at pati yung white zone natin sa baba mabasag, we'll be watching to see if 1.7 holds. If 1.7 does not hold, I would be very surprised to see if this doesn't at the very least revisit yung previous 52-week low natin or even lower than that. Okay? But for now, again, kung may hawak po kayo nitong ASLAG, be sure lang na i-honor nyo yung plano ninyo. Okay? Para walang bulaga na pwede mangyari, hindi kayo mag-freeze, and you can do everything in accordance to whatever it is that you planned. Next, silipin po natin tong nickel. Now, tong nickel, as we discussed before, it was forming some type of bear channel and syempre nauntog tayo dito sa previous area of consolidation natin. Then we broke beneath itong channel na to and we started consolidating within this range. So ang current range yan na tinitignan ko is somewhere from 5.41 hanggang 6.02. Now obviously that range is still quite attractive. So kung meron kayong setup, pasok to sa hinahanap ninyo, then that's something that you might want to look out for as a potential trade moving forward. After all, that's more than 10% na eh. Diba? From 5.4 hanggang 6.02. Now, kung from here, mabasag ng all together yung 5.4, then yung next range that we will find ourselves in will likely be from 4.88 hanggang 5.41. However, kung mabasag naman tong 6.02, then this range on top opens up hanggang 6.48, followed by yung next levels of resistances natin at 6.91 and 7.48. However, I do need to remind you, konting ingat lang. After all, there was a bearish pattern that formed. Kitang-kita naman natin tong bear flag na to. And when it did break to the downside, the expectation is dapat sooner rather than later, susunod siya sa overall trend niya. And ano yung overall trend niya? Diba? We have had our high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So kung ito nga po yung next na lower high, then the possibility exists na we will soon go find yung next na lower low. Okay? So kailangan konting ingat lang po. Make sure that if you want to range trade this, pasok na pasok siya sa hinahanap ninyo at alam nyo po yung ginagawa nyo. Don't just buy randomly kasi ang overall direction natin is still to the downside. Okay, so konting ingat lang po dito sa nickel. Now, kung mag-iba yon, meaning mag-iba yung ihip ng hangin and we start breaking to the upside, we break above 6.5. Pagka ganon, may nagbago sa structure. And then we can reassess it again kung nagkakaroon ba tayo ng some type of reversal. And if so, then malamang rerespetuhin niya yung mga levels of resistances that we just discussed. And then finally, tignan po natin tong BDO. Now, the last time we looked at this, sabi nga po natin, it was trading within this tight range here. But if you were looking at the bigger picture, this was the wider range. Tas ito yung possible overshoot natin. So, kung ganon yung tinitingnan natin, yung wider range niya, ngayon ang nangyari is we broke beneath this smaller range and it's looking like we're pushing back down once again dito sa low end ng wider range na to. Now, kung ganon, as always, I use segments para lang mas madaling planuhin any potential trades that could come up along the way. So, ang next na level na tinitingnan natin na support dito sa BDO will be 119.6. If 119.6 breaks, then the next area I would be watching out for is tong white zone dito sa baba. And if that breaks as well, 109.3 na yung next level of support natin. However, kung bumawi ito, let's say it broke beneath here, sa mga bukas makalawa, bigla niyang bawiin, we start holding above itong low end ng range ulit, then baka mag-trade tayo within this tighter range. Let's not make any assumptions just yet na biglang lilipad na to. Okay, baka mag-trade tayo somewhere around 124 hanggang mga 130, 131. That's a decent range. Okay? Tapos kung mabasag to the upside, we break above 133.5, then likely marirevisit natin yung next level of resistance at 137.5. Okay, ito, I consider this an overshoot and we'll discuss that kung sakali mang bumalik yung price all the way back up hanggang dito. But for now, you need to be careful. Kung kunwari, trinayin nyo lang humabol, pumasok kayo dito, I assume for a lot of you, your stop losses were triggered kasi nabasag niya yung low end ng range eh. And this is why I don't tend to buy kapag sa ganitong areas kasi nga, walang kasiguraduhan eh. It needs to set up ng maayos before we jump in, no? Now, kung patuloy itong bumaba, okay, let's assume that it does. Make sure lang kung may inaabang kayong value area, mag-set kayo ng alerts nyo, diba? Para kung sakali mang umabot to sa price or prices na interesado kayo, mababantayan nyo ng maigi and you're not going to miss out. Okay? But for now, siguro maganda, nood-nood muna tayo, exercise a bit of patience, and see what develops in the next few days before triggering any type of trades dito sa BDO. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!